The Chicago Bears didn't just win in Week 15, they took control of the NFC North. Rivals fell, the playoff picture shifted, and suddenly the door is wide open. With 3 weeks left, this season just became very real in Chicago. Sunday couldn't have gone much better for the Chicago Bears. First things first, the Bears handled their own business. A dominant 31-3 win over Cleveland pushed them to 10-4, a milestone season that keeps gaining momentum. But what happened after the Bears won may have been just as important. Green Bay lost. Detroit lost. Chicago moved back into first place in the NFC North. Before we go any further, if you enjoy smart, honest Bears coverage, take 1 second to like the video, subscribe, and share it with another Bears fan. Now let's talk about how big this moment really is. With 3 weeks remaining, the Bears sit in a position every fan dreamed about entering the year. They control their own destiny. Win next week against Green Bay, and Chicago doesn't just stay in first place. They take a commanding grip on the division and put themselves on the brink of a playoff clinch. That's not hype. That's math. If the Bears beat the Packers next week, they would be at least a game and a half clear of Green Bay, and potentially 2 games ahead of Detroit depending on results. With only 2 weeks left after that, the path becomes simple. One more win, or one more rival loss, and Chicago is in. This wasn't supposed to be the year everything lined up. New leadership. A rookie quarterback. A roster still learning how to win together. And yet here they are, not sneaking into the playoff picture, but sitting near the top of it. What makes this even more encouraging is how professional Sunday felt. The Bears didn't play down to their opponent. They didn't mess around. They showed up, embraced the cold, fed off the crowd, and imposed their will early. That's what good teams do. Yes, there were injury concerns. One key starter was ruled out after warm-ups. Another left with an ankle issue. Those are real storylines we'll monitor closely. But across the NFC, the injury news was far more damaging for Chicago's biggest competitors. Season-altering injuries hit contenders, including division rivals, changing the landscape in a major way. No one cheers injuries, ever. But pretending they don't matter would be dishonest. This season is becoming a battle of attrition, and right now, the Bears are still standing strong. When you zoom out and look at the NFC as a whole, this conference feels wide open. No unbeatable powerhouse. No team without flaws. Just opportunity, and Chicago is right in the middle of it. The final score said 31-3, but the performance told an even bigger story. This was one of the most complete games the Bears have played all season. Let's start with the quarterback. He didn't just post solid numbers, he controlled the game. Calm, confident, decisive. The stat line could have been even bigger if not for a few drops and missed chances. The most important part? He started fast. That had been an issue recently. Early struggles. Slow starts. Playing from behind. On Sunday that changed. The offense found rhythm early, moved the ball consistently, and forced Cleveland to abandon any hope of controlling the game. Mistakes still happened, a misread here, a throwaway there, but this was growth. This was progress. This was the kind of performance that makes you believe he can step into a rivalry game next week and not be overwhelmed. The running game deserves just as much credit. One back took over. Explosive runs. Tough finishes. 2 touchdowns. He looked decisive and dangerous, turning small creases into chunk plays. With the season winding down, he's closing in on major milestones and proving to be a reliable weapon when the games matter most. That balance mattered. When the Bears ran well, everything else opened up. In the passing game, the top weapons delivered. One receiver made highlight catches and scored early, reminding everyone how valuable he can be when involved. Another rookie showed toughness and playmaking ability despite taking a hard hit and leaving briefly with an injury. A young tight end made key catches that kept drives alive. Even with one important receiver ruled out before kickoff, the offense didn't stall. That depth, especially from younger players, is becoming a real strength. Coaching played a role too. The game plan emphasized rhythm, tempo, and balance. There were moments you'd want back, but overall, the Bears did exactly what they needed to do: build a lead, protect it, and never let the opponent breathe. Then there was the defense. Yes, Cleveland was short-handed. Yes, their offensive line was struggling. But dominating an injured team still requires discipline, and the Bears had it. They forced turnovers. They pressured the quarterback. They shut down the run completely. Less than 200 total yards allowed, multiple sacks, and not a single touchdown surrendered. Even late, when Cleveland moved the ball in garbage time, the Bears bowed up inside the red zone and kept the scoreboard clean. That's pride. That's focus. Individual defenders continued to step up, especially with injuries testing the depth. One interception swung momentum early. Another potential turnover was wiped away by a questionable call. Either way, the message was clear: this defense isn't just surviving, it's dictating games. Special teams weren't perfect, but coverage units were strong, and mistakes didn't snowball. When you put it all together, this looked like a playoff-caliber team beating a team it should beat, decisively. Now comes the moment that defines the season. Bears versus Packers. Again. With everything on the line. No matter what else happens around the league, the equation is simple. Win next week, and the Bears are in first place with a clear path to the playoffs. Lose, and they're chasing again. That's it. No excuses. No scoreboard watching. The difference this time? Chicago isn't hoping. They're prepared. They've already reached 10 wins. They've proven they can respond after adversity. They've shown they can dominate when favored and compete when challenged. Around the NFC, cracks are everywhere. Top teams are losing stars. Division leaders are stumbling. Schedules are tightening. And suddenly, Chicago looks like one of the healthier, more balanced teams entering the most important stretch of the season. This doesn't feel like luck anymore. It feels like timing. No one is saying the Bears have to win it all this year. No one is pretending this is a finished product. But sports don't wait for perfect moments. Sometimes the window opens early, and if you're smart, tough, and confident enough, you jump through it. That's where the Bears are right now. They're not just playing meaningful football in December. They're shaping the NFC playoff picture. They're forcing the league to take them seriously. And they're giving their fans something real to believe in. 10 wins. First place. 3 games left. Enjoy it. Embrace it. And get ready, because the biggest game of the season is next. The Chicago Bears are firing on all cylinders at the perfect time. With 3 weeks left, first place and a playoff spot are within reach. If they can carry this momentum into next week against Green Bay, anything is possible. This is the moment Bears fans have been waiting for. Embrace it and bear down. Bear down.